Good afternoon and welcome to the Side Talk here live at Lavington United Church, where all things are working for the good to those who love the Lord. Praise God. Yes. So today we are relaunching the Side Talk 1 year and 1.5 years to be exact after its launch at RGC Waithaka, and we are discussing on parenting, more so basing on permissive and dictatorial parenting. Allow me to read through something. We all parent differently, but it is safe to say that most of us have the same goal in mind when it comes to raising children, that they are happy, healthy, functional, and turns into kind adults that contribute to the society. While we all have that end goal in mind, many of us choose to take very different routes to get there, meaning even our closest mom friends will end up deciding to parent differently than our moms do. So with that, I'm delighted to welcome my two guests on discussing this topic today. I'll start with the ladies. Madam Isabel Gizega, a psychologist whom I've known for quite some time. She has been an encouragement to me. She's a psychologist by profession. Madam Gizega, please introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, viewers. My name is Isabel Gizega, and I come from Dagoretti. I am a mother of 2 girls. Those are my biological children. I have raised 3 other girls in the society, and I also have 2 grandchildren. It is important to say that I'm born again. Yeah.
Thank you. Karibu sana. Pia we have, I don't know whether to call him doctor, but Emmanuel Odul, who is also a sociologist, working together alongside me in the office. So, karibu sana Bwana Emmanuel. Introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Emmanuel Odul. I am a born-again Christian, married to a female wife, 1, not yet a parent, but a teacher to many, which makes me a parent. Thank you.
So, karibu sana. I'm your host, John Luke. Karibu. So, allow me to go direct, to dig deep in. Let me ask with a very, very, very serious question. Do you think that most people who come from strict homes end up messing a lot in their lives when they grow up? What's your take on that, Madam Isabel?
It depends. It depends on many things, because parenting is very basic. It happens basically from the time a child starts to grow up to around when they can go to kindergarten or to church. Then they start interacting with other parents out there. I can say strict, from my observation, 2 strict parents, children don't turn out well.
They don't turn out well?
No.
So you can agree with me, strict parents brings out very difficult children in the society.
You know that strict, you're too strict, ile regimento, ni kama polisi. That one doesn't turn out well, because I am sure I've seen it.
It's like you're raising a child inside a prison.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing, even now in schools, they are saying, let's have some democracy. Let's ask the children what, if you are too strict as a parent. I have 2 daughters, and one I raised very strictly. Learning from my mother. Where? The second one, I learned to be a bit democratic. I think it's good to season your restrictions with democracy.
Just hold on. Ninaona you are sitting on a very hot seat. Mr. Emmanuel, let me reframe that question to you. Do you think that you being raised up, you are raised up in a strict home, or how are you raised up?
I can't say in a very strict way. And I can tell you, it will be a stereotypical conception saying that all children who are raised up in a strict parenting mess up their lives or they lose it. But I can say in a very good way, not every strict parenting is a prison, because even prisons nowadays are called correctional centers. So even our children will grow being correct.
That is nowadays. But
Yes.
basing on the time you are raised up, do you think, comparing to the people you are raised with, many that were raised in strict homes, how are they now?
I can say we are better.
You are better.
Yes.
So you are differing from the opinion of Madam Isabel.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite. But okay, let me come again deeper. When I talk about the messing a lot in their lives, I'm talking about them getting into wrong relationships, early marriages, ending up divorcing, wrong careers. Do you think strict parenting is a contributing factor to that?
Oh, I cannot say that, but we can say what the society has built, not only parenting, because in every century or in every year, there are new trends. In the past 20 years, maybe, we were told education is the best. So each child, each parent wanted the best for the children. So they had to be strict. But nowadays, we say it is skills, it is talents. We allow our children to be exposed to media, to music and everything. And you see, those children mess up their lives. They're not those who are strict parenting, but those who are exposed to freedom.
Madam Isabel, allow me to come back to you. You've said you've raised, is it 3 daughters? Or 5 daughters. Using that strict parenthood, how did the first one turn out? You said the first one you used dictatorship.
Well, the point is, I wasn't raising these children alone, but I spent a lot of time with them. The dad is very democratic. So it helped a lot. They attained their careers, good careers. Because I think the dad moderated. The dad is very, very democratic. And the dad will reason with them, why did that happen? And even where the dad grew up, the mother was very strict, the dad was very democratic. So you see, you're not raising these children alone. They are uncles, they are aunties who throw their points to your children. But if we look at strictly the styles of parenting and the results, I can say here without fear of contradiction, if you are too strict on your child, they will follow your rules out of fear.
Out of fear, intimidation.
But one day, they will be out of that house. They will make choices. And those choices might be different.
What kind of choices do you think they will make?
They will make choices that have freedom, and they will not be scared to behave the way they want.
So you are suggesting they will end up messing a lot?
Yeah, look at the Muslim society. I was also a teacher. The Muslim society will raise their children in buis and all that. And the children will be faithful. But those children used to come to school in their minis, the buibui is over. When they get to the gate, they remove, then you see the true colors.
So it's like we are hiding the true color of our children in a cocoon.
Of our children. So personally, I would like to say here, and I'm saying this because I have seen it. When our parents were very, very strict, it was every parent. So we didn't know another style. It was all the parents were strict. In fact, those parents who are not strict enough, their children were corrected by neighbors.
You know, there
was no question.
I live making fun at how my mom used to discipline me. As in, ningekosa, hata kama kuna kikombe kwa meza, that is the first thing she will throw at me. But okay, I may agree slightly with Emmanuel, saying that strict parenthood, to some extent, may raise good children. But to some extent, they will have failures.
But let us draw lines. You know, lines are important.
Lines are important.
No one is refusing that you turned out well by some miracle. But if you look at strict parents, to say the truth, just so strict, when these children meet in boardings, they start realizing there are things my mom is so annoying about. Kumbe your mom is not this annoying. Like now, a parent really throwing a cup at a child is wrong. It would happen then, it happened to you, and a miracle happened. Today you throw those cups on children, they will leave that house and they'll find homes.
But
Because you see, like the children I have raised, the 3 ones, they didn't run away from their homes because their parents were too strict. It's because there was poverty. But I can tell you, most of the delinquent children are children who have been raised with a lot of spanking, kicking. Most of them. I am saying strict, be very strict, have definite rules, have structures, but also be warm.
Be warm.
Yeah, let your children know you're doing this for their good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, dear viewer, from wherever you're watching, you can give us your comment on strict parenting. As we also continue, we'll take a look at the views and also discuss further. So, Madam Isabel, before I come back to Emmanuel, most of the parents take rules plus regulation minus the relationship, which ends up to resentment and rebellion from the children. Do you think it's true?
Well,
Or
in,
how-
the underdeveloped, in the underdeveloped world, where children are not so exposed, they will comply.
They will comply.
Yeah, with the rules, regulations, and no relationship. Mama ako pale, dada ako pale, sisi tunakaa bedroom watch TV, tokeni hapa, those kind of things. They will work to some extent. But again, back to the same thing I am saying, let us not police our children.
Let us not police our children. Mr. Emmanuel,
Yes,
going
yes.
back to the same point, what's your view on that? Raising a child with rules and regulation without a relationship.
I can say to that one, to that formula, I will agree. Because we have to connect. We have to be responsive. About throwing cups, throwing glasses to children, that is violence, of which I myself will condone. But we all have read the spare the rod, spoil the child. And a rod cannot kill a child. But if you go to the extremes, we can say that will be violence, of which it can act as a crime offense. So I won't agree with any sort of violence against children. But I will say strict parenting still.
So we all agree that we have that, we should have that relationship.
Yes.
And what do you think adding that relationship to the equation? Now we are having rules, regulation, and respect relationship. What is the end product of that kind of a relationship?
You know, okay.
I can say that one will come out as unconditional love and care.
Unconditional love and care.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? I mean, what kind of a child will I bring out of that equation?
It is a child who will grow up knowing what he or she has to do, but at the same time focusing on the goals that the parents have set for him so that he can have a better future.
Okay.
Yes, but still he'll be responsive. He will or she will respect the parents as it is required.
So,
Yeah.
Madam Isabel, going back to you, you are a mother of many, including me.
Including you.
So, so what kind of a child will I bring out of that equation? Rules, regulation, and a relationship.
Rules, regulations, and relationships bring out a global figure.
A global figure.
Yeah. You will bring a child who knows their boundaries and walks through those boundaries and knows their effect in society. Children who are high achievers. Children who respect society and its rules. Children who respect authority. Besides relationship and rules, are losers.
Losers.
Yes.
So losers.
Losers. Hakuna rules, hakuna mapenzi, hakuna relationship. Hao watoto wako tu huko nje like vagabonds. We don't want that kind of thing. We want to raise children who will play in the global market. They can feature anywhere and be themselves and bring out their best without fear, but knowing that there is characteristic punishment if I behave in a certain way.
Yes, but I would like to disagree on something that you have said. Those who will not follow that will turn out to be losers, as in vagabonds. No, even those who will be in such a parenting style, some of them will just make their own choices. Because what is the end, or what is the time that one stops being a child of someone? Is there any set age or limit? Because if you are somebody's child, you will still remain to be someone's child until he or she dies. But if somebody at the age of 45 decides to drink, decides to engage in immoralities, but he or she was brought up in such a parenting, do we even continue saying that the formula failed, or it's just that person who decided to make their own choice?
What maybe I'm trying to say here is we have seen children who really have turned out wrong because of parenting only. Nothing else. Their parents had already their own issues. They fought at home. They became difficult. They will raise difficult children.
Okay, so Madam Isabel, you said, let me go back to your first daughter. Does she come back to correct you on how to raise the others different than how you raised her?
Yeah, there are some mistakes I made with my first daughter. By just being too strict, you don't want to expose them. You have your own fears, but those are yours. They are not the fears that are real. They're just your fears. So you've come to Nairobi. We had just come to Nairobi. You know, you're living in an estate. You are scared of many things naturally.
Yeah.
So you meted, instead of walking with her in your fears so that she can understand, you actually just pulled her back. You understand?
Yeah.
So there are so many things she didn't know. And so she went out there. She didn't know how to talk to boys. She didn't know how to respond to authorities other than the mothers. But the second one, I realized, and I read books. And they are very good books that are telling you how to be moderate.
How to be moderate.
And I used moderation. And what I brought out of this child, and they are both my children.
Yeah.
Same mother, same father. What came out of these children, let me tell you, is testimony. There are things you do with the children, they will go wrong. There are things you do with the children, they will go right. They will love their books without being pushed. She was she was very quick to learn driving. The other one used to be scared. Ambia Liza nitolee kwa gate. It is my parenting fault. They will work on them. That is why we have this topic today and discussing it. Because there are parenting skills that can go wrong. And they are kama vile tu unaweza pika chakula. Ingine itokee vizuri, ingine itokee vibaya. We are not blaming parents, but we are only saying if only parents could learn.
Okay, so let me go deeper into the topic. Do you think that some of the, like, being raised of a single mother affects the kind of a child that will come out of that? Because I can see someone is raising a question, I'm raising my children as a single mother, and will it affect the kind of children I'll bring out in such a way that I was disappointed as a mother? And I keep telling my children, all men are evil. How would you assist such a parent?
There is no child who doesn't have a father. So if they are evil, the mother made a mistake to have children. Men are not evil. What I would like to encourage her, I've seen single mother parents, children, who have turned out very well. It depends. You don't keep belittling your parenting skills. You do it with confidence. You raise your children with an embrace. You encourage them.
Yeah.
And if you need really that base, then there are many men around, uncles, neighbors, who are so willing. Those children are not growing in a vacuum. They are growing together with other children. So the issue of single mother I don't think it arises. It is the way the single mother feels. And she should stop feeling like that. Because men, there is no child who was brought to this world who doesn't have a father. Hata wa test tube, wako na baba.
Yes.
Emmanuel, do you think it's a contributing factor?
I can say single parenting, because we also have single fathers. Yes. So just as Isabel said, I want to concur with her. The way you have the honesty, confidence to just raise your child will give your child the ability, or she'll be able to put in everything so that she can also be better than maybe the situation that you are in at that time. So just be open and speak to your child, tell her the truth, but don't say all men are evil, because you have God the Father. Yes.
I included, I'm not evil.
You're not yet a father.
I'm not yet a father, but I'm a father to many. I have.
All right. Yeah, you said it.
I'm a teacher.
Yes.
So thank you very much for following from wherever you're watching. You can reach to us through our phone number, 0781-889-054. You can also comment below the video. We'll also see your views. And karibu sana. Let me diverge from whatever we've been discussing. And as I was reading through, I saw that psychology highlights some areas where we see why parents are more responsible for their children's waywardness. Let me give a statement, like for instance, number one, parents who give their children everything they ask for, their children will grow up thinking they have a right to whatever they want. How would you view that statement, Emmanuel?
Yes, and that's why I said we have to be strict. Yes. This one especially goes to the young parents. Most of them will say, I am trying to give my child what I never had in the past. So they will try to give each and everything every time the child asks for it. You will find that even a child of 3 years owns a better phone than even the teacher. So you just wonder, is it really necessary? So you can just say, children who grow up getting each and everything they ask for, they will be so weird, because every time they will expect to have something, they will want to have it. Even if they want the church, they will want to steal the church, Yeah, in a very funny way. Yeah.
Let me make this so personal. While growing up, were you handed everything that you asked for?
No.
How was that handled in your childhood?
I can say in our family, maybe we were many, yes, but some things we were denied. We were just given what we needed, but not everything that we wanted. So it is necessary to just give your child what he or she needs and not what she wants. Yeah.
Madam Isabel, would you agree more with Emmanuel on that?
Yes, I do. There are things that children need, the needs, and they are the wants. And I have seen parents who obese children by giving them all kinds of foods because there is availability of resources. And their children become obese. I have also seen parents who give stuff to everybody else except their children. Yeah. I've seen parents who are very strict when it comes to their children. But when it comes to other people, they are not that strict.
They are not that strict.
We are saying the same thing, but it is good to be kuwa na kakitu kama uniformity in your leadership skills.
Okay.
So that mtoto anahitaji chakula. Mtoto ili kukua.
Yeah.
Mtoto anahitaji kupelekwa shule. Hata kama ni kwa miguu, it is good for them to go by foot. I think it is precious for you to even walk with your children as you walk them to school. Even if there is a car. There are days you say, let's have a walk. If the school is not too far and you're not too busy. But I also saw a 2-year-old in a supermarket. The parent did not have money at this particular time, but they were used to giving. So this particular time they didn't have. The drama that was in the supermarket, because of one child who is 2 years old, everything stops. All the attendants are around this child now. They are not attending to anyone else. Because now, at this point, you have actually been raising a bastard. So really, it is important for us, also parents, tunakuwaga na shida. We want to show off with our children. You want to show people that your children can have this. What does a child need a phone for? For God's sake. Actually,
I got one when I was finishing Form 4.
Even some of us shoes. I'm not saying we do that today, but really what does a 2-year-old, 3-year-old need a phone for? Now unasikia, hiyo ni ya Stacy. Hiyo isiguswe. I think we also go overboard.
Again, we are living in a technological era, where we are living in an era where technology is changing.
That is why we have so much trouble.
Yes.
Teach your child to use a pen. Today a computer is a pen. It is nothing. It is the new pen.
It's the new pen.
It is good to teach a child to use this pen. It is good to teach people to drive manual cars before they can go for the auto. There is nothing wrong with going to the genetics of every mode of work.
Don't you think you are doing payback to your children? Because
you cannot just provide machines until the mind of a child. You know, there is a time even children were given calculators. Mtoto akiambiwa 2 times 2 anaenda kwa calculator.
Yeah.
Really, even if it is not paying back to my child, I want my child to understand and know. Did you see this story of a child who thought that the eggs, because they came from the shamba, in their home, the eggs used to come from the shamba in a tray or in a basin. This child actually, when they were asked to write a composition, this child thought the eggs were cut from trees. It's a real story. It is not a lie. Eggs will always come from chicken, even if you become digital to heaven.
Amen.
So there are some things technology can't replace.
Yeah.
Okay. Including parenting.
I don't want my children to be parented, now grandchildren, to be parented by the TV. No.
Let me highlight the second point in a very funny question. Have you
Ask him if he agrees.
Do you agree, Mr. Emmanuel?
Yes, I do agree.
Uh-huh.
Technology has spoiled our children, and that's why we'll stick to strict.
So we should infringe how we expose our children to technology.
Yes, there is a stage that will require that.
But I feel different because if I couldn't have been exposed to technology, maybe I couldn't have been the man I am now.
When were you exposed?
Yes.
Okay, let me not answer that. Let me diverge from that. Let me
We are
ask.
talking about the timing.
The timing, actually.
Okay.
Some timings are wrong.
Sawa. Let me ask. Let me go back to our second scenario and ask a question out of it. Have you ever walked into a supermarket or somewhere in the neighborhood and then mtoto akaku-insult? Yeah. If so, kama you were insulted, what came at the back of your mind regarding the parenting of that child?
I will tell you a real life story. You know this song, Tiga Nikai, Nikepatwa na Muhadhara.
Yes.
You know, we just arrived in a neighborhood and the kids are just such, I don't know. They climb trees to see the people who have come in the neighborhood and they sing that. And these are grown-ups out here. Whom are they singing to? See, it's us. They are seeking our attention. Actually, and that song is not really nice to sing to older people. How it made me feel, I felt there is a missing thing in them. And I started teaching them Bible study in my home. I used to invite them. I started with 2 boys and I ended with 32 children. And they used to come every evening to learn. Because if you don't teach children, where will they learn from? And you are their parents from very early. It is good to teach them these things. And these are precepts. These are training. And you cannot say you won't train your children. Train them so that they cannot go and insult. Unakuta mtoto anaitana mbwa. Unataka kujua, where did you see a tail? In that person. And you know we are made in God's image and likeness.
Yeah.
Na unajua mtoto ukimwambia hivyo atajua nikiita huyu mbwa nina insult Mungu. Yeah. So teaching will never stop, and if you don't teach your children, you have failed as a parent.
So you think parents who laugh when their children speak 4 languages against others, especially people of age, those children grow up thinking that disrespect is normal and fun.
Yeah, but again, those are not parents. Those are just people who mothered or they fathered. They are not parents.
So you have a different opinion on who a parent is and who fathered the child.
There is a line.
A very big line.
Mama alizaa akawachia shosho na akaenda kunywa pombe. Huyo huwezi kumuita parent.
Emmanuel seems to be sitting on a hot seat. Emmanuel, please release the hot seat.
Oh, I'm just saying foul language occurs in families nowadays because we have talked about technology. Yes, phones. And children are able to search YouTube. And this is where the songs that we sing, they see on YouTube, and even the movies they watch, it has a lot of abusive language. So that is where it all starts from. Even the peers, they use it because they hear it from their homes, they hear it from the media, and everywhere. So despite even a parent being so tough, but as far as we will allow that to continue, that child will grow knowing that doing it is just okay. When I do it, I'll be respected in quotes by my peers maybe, and I'm doing something that will give me the power to continue doing and doing something that really is shaming, actually. Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Yes, before we go for that short break.
Even if you don't go to the wrong sides, these phones are mad. They bring wrong sides on their own. I have had to discard phones. I didn't know that even these people who have done these phones are very evil. Because whenever you are using Android, and you probably go to somebody like Joyce Meyer. In the site where you find Joyce Meyer, these people know how to pop out rubbish.
So that is Madam Isabel with some insightful words. Thank you for watching from wherever you are. I can see Madam Evelyn Okoth, Madam Grace Zidana, Justus Muoka. Thank you for watching from wherever you are. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, make a cup of coffee. Na usibanduke, don't banduka. So thank you. Welcome again here at the Side Talk. Main aim is making the Side Talk the main talk of the city. A show that is sponsored by RGC Waithaka, Urafiki Resource Center, and Lavington United Church. Here live at Lavington United Church. Karibu sana. So I'll go back to the questions. One of the parents have asked, anaitwa Mr. Samuel, when do you become tough and when do you pamper this kid?
I guess it's a good question. But we are saying a home is an institution.
An institution.
It should have rules and regulations. If those rules are broken, then it is time to be tough.
It's time to be tough.
As a parent.
But they say rules are there to be broken anyway.
That's what they say. And even the Bible talks about rules that were given to the Israelites because they were already breaking so many rules. So you put rules so that you can know the boundaries. If, for example, I tell my children they should be in bed by 8, then I shouldn't be cooking at 9 for them. So it is everyone doing their chores in a home in a structured way. Have structures. When those structures are interfered with, then be firm. You can't do that. You can't come to the house at 6 because it is also dangerous out there and you will put everyone here in anxiety. It is good to also give reasons why you put rules so that your children can flow with your reasoning. So it is time to be very firm when children disobey rules. If you say that babies who are crawling should never enter the kitchen, don't carry them into the kitchen yourself. And then you say, I'm the mother here. Because we are talking about a kitchen that is dangerous for the kids.
So you mean don't make the rules and then you bend them by yourself?
And then you bend them yourself.
Okay.
Because you then can't be tough and firm. To pamper the children, I don't know when. I don't think I should ever pamper my children myself. I don't pamper. I naturally raise my children. Naturally. Hakuna kupampa. Kupampa nini? Ni kupampa aje, hata sielewi. Mimi najua, when you are raising your children, be natural with them. Hata miti ikikuwa kule nje na ikileta matunda, it is so natural. Just play the natural rules in your house. Be nice to them. Smile as you say hi to them. Have play, even jump rope. But ni pampering gani hii munasema? Mi sijaielewa.
I think
maybe Emmanuel, because in my operations, I don't pamper.
You don't pamper.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe
you bring yourself as a very strict woman in the society.
I am natural. I am natural. Children are natural beings. You sired them naturally. Pampering them probably is being hot.
Emmanuel.
I think they can do to each other.
Maybe what I understand with what's this question, I can say punishment and reward. That's what I can say. Punish when someone has failed the task. Ama wakati make mistake. Mwakikishia kuwa kuna punishment. But then reward for each, not each, but every good deed they do, at least reward, so that they know there is punishment and reward. But pampering, obvious, we don't allow that.
Don't you think we are living in a society? Let me just challenge you a bit with the current state of affairs. Don't you think we are living in a society where when we tell our children, don't do this, they want to try and see what will come as a result of me doing it? They are daring to see.
And that's why curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
But the cat has 9 lives.
It's curiosity.
But it's died once.
I guess children will be curious about many things, but before they are curious, let them know that a razor blade cuts.
Yes.
Yeah? And that one, you don't need a lot of mechanisms.
So the death we see
let them know that fire burns.
So the death we see in the curiosities, the kind of morals they
no
come
one will
out.
die of a razor cut. No one will die of a little burn. They will know it is hot. Flames are hot. But it is good to let children have a natural growth. Usikue tena ati,
Too tough.
come here. Let them fall so that they can know. You don't walk carelessly in this world. Let them fall a little. Let them have a scratch. Aki, watoto hawana scratch. Si watoto tena. Kama hiyo ndio mnaita pampering. Let us come out of that kind of thing. Let us raise children naturally. In fact, children have inclinations. Ukizaa mtoto anajua Mungu ameweka ndani yake that ability to be nice and to ni wewe utaweka vitu mbaya ndani yake. In fact, they are an empty slate. Their mind is empty. It is what we put inside them. Void. Slowly by slowly. So let us not come here and think that parenting is something that comes from the ozone. No, it is something that is very, very natural. Ukizaa mtoto anajua direction, atajua mambo mingi by themselves. Yours is just to give guidance. And I want to state here, according to me, before you become your child's friend, be their parent.
Be their parent.
Yeah, they can find friends elsewhere.
Let me deviate from the main talk a bit. We see in the book of John, you shall know the truth and it shall set you free. But there are some of our children, I'm involved in raising the teenagers as their teachers. So there are some children, if you handle them with truth, instead of building, you'll end up destroying. So how do you handle that?
John, it is ages. Yeah, truth, you reveal what a child can digest slowly. Usiende kuangushaga maneno pa. You actually reveal slowly from the unknown to the known.
Gradually.
They come gradually. We learn also what we didn't know from the unknown. Then we go into the known. Then we go into the deeper truth. Then we go into the depth when we can go into the depth. But don't bombard children with so much fear, so much problems, everything. Oh, munaona huko floods zinaua watu. We have a good God who takes care of our mind. Let the mind grow in its pace. What do you think?
Yes, and with that one I will agree, because the way she said, children are born empty, and we are the ones who feel it, the society actually. And as parents, as teachers, and as big brothers and sisters, we have a role to play. For instance, you can't tell someone who is 13 years, 14 years, a girl who is 14 years, that you are fat. Even if she is fat, you cannot tell her that. That one will destroy her self-esteem. Yes, even though it is the truth. So you'll just have to tell her something else. Even if it is the truth, just know how to tell her. Yeah.
But I also want to add, there are cases where unafeel badala ya kupunish mtoto afadhali uletewe mama yake umchape.
What situations are that?
Sometimes that punishment was required of the mother, not this poor child. Because if we fail as parents, we damage for a long time. Hata kama kutakuwa correction huko mbele, itakuwa correction yenye hai meet the standards. Juu sasa you are trying it very late. Kuna mambo ina need instant correction. Kuna ingine ina need continuous correction. Kuna ingine ina need delayed correction. So kuna vile tu wewe utajua utacorrect mtoto wako vipi kwa age gani, na kama uko hands on. It's good for parents to be there for their children. And also ninataka kukuambia, they are absent parents. Walizaa lakini wako really absent haki. Hao watoto ndio wanajiguide. Saa zingine TV inasema hivi, wanashindwa, wanakuwa confused. It is important to say on this show that parents, please be available for your children's growth.
Just before I go to the end product of maybe strict parenthood and pampered parenthood, maybe let me reframe it to like something like permissive and dictatorial parenting. Before I go to the end product, let me just go back and ask, do you think that parents who let their children listen to music that objectify women, those parents who encourage sex and violence, what do you think about such parents? What kind of children are they raising?
These are children actually who will have a problem in their sexuality. I can't say they'll be exposed to sexual immorality at an early stage, because those songs have women who are nude, who are portrayed as vixens, or the dancers. So such songs will lead mostly the boys to participate in masturbation at an early stage. And then from there, it's when they will start engaging with the girls. And this is why we will have a high rate of early teenage pregnancies because of such things. You just allow your child to watch anything at any time because it is the television that you bought. It is a risky thing to expose your child to such music, to such content, and so we should avoid it at all cost.
At all cost. Madam Isabel, I know you have a very different taste of music.
Well, I wouldn't have any music singing those things you're saying myself. Mm-hmm. But if my children come across it, I will want to understand. Because it is not all sexual stuff that is wrong. It is good for children to understand that they are sexual beings. And that I have come to understand later. Si ati nilijua, nikilea, si kujua. Lakini ni vizuri watoto pia wajue they are sexual beings. Mtoto asikuulize kitu unamdanganya atijui it involves sexuality. Let your child know that her body is a sexual body and there is time for it. Because sex is not bad. Usiambie watoto walianguka na plane ati uliletewa mtoto na ndege vile tulikuwa tunaambiwa. Let children know that this is humanity and we will reproduce. And when we grow up, you will become mothers and you will become fathers. What is wrong with that? At a certain age to let your children know. Lakini sasa ukijifanya you are holier than thou, haitakaa mzuri because there is no sin in engaging in sex at the right time. But we have really demonized it and we cannot now even discuss the problems that have come with sexuality. And there are many problems that have come that we need to address. We need to address HIV and AIDS, and we will address with our children because the youth are the ones who are really big victims. We will address these things. So some of the music, I understand, that talk about sexuality is very genuine music. It's very genuine. It's very genuine, but inaimbwa at what stage? Na ni akina nani? Because hawa watoto wadogo hata hawataelewa mkishinda mkiimba hapo ni nini mnasema. Lakini sasa nao hawa uwezi waficha, unawaficha nini? Waongeleshe na wajue direction yenye wanaweza enda. Because if it was really bad, why did God create it?
And that's why we are saying at this stage, it is still too early to be exposing your children to such, because they will grow knowing sexuality, yes, but they will also engage in it. So you will be a grandmother, a mother, and still a child. Can you imagine yourself being a grandmother at the age of 30?
Yes.
You see?
Children are
What
not
about
accidents.
Children are not accidents.
Children are not accidents. Let me tell you, if God allows that seed to grow, let it grow.
Let it grow.
Because there are so many older people who are looking for children and they can't get. But that is a topic for another day. My point was, usikue mtu wa kuwa ati ukisikia hiyo wimbo, ni nini hiyo? Ni nini hiyo? Don't be like that. If it happens in your bounds, ujue iko. Ujue saa zile hutakuwa, it is informing the whole neighborhood. Ukikuja inazimwa. Afadhali nijue, what is that music? What is it saying? Ukiona mtoto anakuwa embarrassed, sasa unamwambia you're getting embarrassed because that's not nice. Hata kuna magazine. I used to be a teacher, you know, a high school teacher.
Yeah.
Kuna magazine ilikuwa inaenda around my class, English class. Na nikaona kuna kitu inazunguka hivyo na ni pornography. Na nikaambia kila mtu aende ameinua mikono hivi nje. Juu hawangetoa. Nikabaki na prefect tukatafuta tukapata magazine. And the magazine was bad. The owner of the school, Mrs. Mennick, tukaenda sasa punishment. Na punishment lazima we involve the headmistress. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
Kuingia kwa ofisi, the daughter of the owner of the school is a lawyer. So she says, can I see what the kids were seeing? Oh, mi hata sikuona. Mi sikuangalia. By just looking at the lawyer, I could tell it is wicked. And then she said, don't show my mother. And she's supposed to be the one in charge of the whole discipline. The mother is the owner of the school. Don't show this to my mother. That is a child already telling you, this for my mother?
No.
Sitaki mama yangu aone upuzi gani? And yet, it's the children who are seeing. So how will the mother deal with it? Because Isabel, don't show this to my mother. And you know you won't ignore that lawyer. Amesema usionyeshe mama yake, na mama yake ndiye ako supposed to decide by looking at the pictures what should happen to the people who had the magazine. So, has discipline been served? No.
So we have deviated from the main course.
We have hid our heads under the sand.
Okay.
So, do
and
you
it
say...
will pop out.
Emmanuel?
we should always cover such situations.
We should cover the situations. Why should we cover the situations?
No, according to Isabel, that's what she's saying.
I gave an example.
An example?
Yeah.
I gave an example. I didn't say it's my opinion.
But in her opinion, I guess she's agreeing that we should not
in my
really
opinion,
hide.
let's not hide. If something has come out, it has come out. Let's deal with it.
So we call a spade a spade.
Possible, so that we can deal with it.
Okay.
But saying, don't let Isabel see.
Okay. So let us wrap up. We are sitting on time also. Allow me to go back to the final question. What kind of children do you think permissive parent and do we say we have permissive who are democratic, and then we have
just uninvolved.
Democratic, and then we have those who are strict, those who are dictatorial. So what kind of children does each of these parents bring? As in, what kind of character trait will each child from this parenthood bring?
I can't say.
Let's start with Emmanuel.
For a dictatorial parent, the way he started, when you are a dictatorial parent, you expect your child to follow the rules to the letter. So these are children who will grow into people who respect and obey the law, irrespective of whatever it is. Then there is the permissive. These are the ones whom we pamper or we just give anything. The parents who are uninvolved with the children sometimes. So the children will do what they want with whatever thing, in any place, not caring at all. The careless children, actually. And then we have the authoritative parenting. That is where Isabel is taking us. Yeah? These are children who know the rules, follow the rules. They understand their boundaries and expectations, but then there is high responsiveness from the parents. The parent cares for the child understands his or her roles and responsibilities, so she will or he will follow the rules, but also have something to negotiate with the parent. So to me, after this, we can say it is the best. Yeah.
So, Madam Isabel, you can wrap up for us. Using the same question, which is the best approach? And what kind of children do you think comes from dictatorial parenthood and permissive parenthood? What kind of characters?
I wish our audience would be able to answer a few questions that I can ask in form of wrapping up. If you are the kind of parent that will never deny your child anything, whatever your child asks for, you are a yes person. You are a permissive parent. If you answer to the question that whenever your children, or you let your children respond to you the way you will not let anyone else respond to you. Your friends, you feel bad when they respond that way, but you allow it to your children, then you know you are so permissive. If you let your children wear what they want, you are permissive. You won't tell your children that dress is indecent. You are a permissive person. You even buy it. And the kind of child that will come out of that is a child who is shy to be with the others out there. Is a child who is difficult when they get out there, because they'll be very difficult to others. They cannot compete. They think they should have their way. They cannot even be fair in a game. They think they should win. They cheat. If they cannot get money, they will steal. Those are the two thieves we have. And they turn out to become worse as they grow up, because you trained them that everything belongs to them, even that which wasn't theirs. But a strict and loving parent, I don't want to say dictator, I want strict but loving, is a parent who is strict, who tells their children that will not pass in this house, because that is not the kind of people we are. But at the same time, I love you. I am beating you. I am spanking you because I care for you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be miserable out there.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind that said, have a kamuiko, you spank early. Don't spank this one.
It won't be possible.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to humiliate. You want to train up a child. When they get here, they will not do things that will require spanking.
Yeah. So
can I maybe ask something or say something? So can we say that for a child to grow, in a way we'll have to use maybe all the parenting styles? Because every child, you will treat a child differently for every stage that he or she grows into. If you say the teenagers should not be spanked, which kind of punishment will you use? Because you will not neglect a baby who is 0 to 6 months. You cannot neglect such. But you can also not be so strict to them also. So what Does it mean that we will have to use all these parenting styles before someone fully grows into an adult?
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Chinese children. I was in China for 4 years. And the Chinese parents, they don't have apologies when they are reprimanding their children. And what I noticed is, for teenagers, you use the reward and not punishment. Punishment, no. Is reward and withdrawal. You either reward them or you withdraw the reward. If they misbehave, then you deny them. Maybe they wanted to go out somewhere. You tell them, because you have behaved like this, you won't go out. Or wash the dishes, then go. So that you train them responsibility, even as you give them little by little freedom. Because at this age, you start giving them small freedoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allow us to complete the show from there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are watching us from. And as I can say, let me finish by saying this. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. That from the discussion that we've had today, we've seen it is very easy to build strong children, but it is so hard to repair broken men. With that in mind, digest whatever we've discussed today, and I hope you've learned a lot. See you next time when we are having a different kind of a conversation. Maybe we didn't have enough time to expound on this, but if you have questions, you can reach to us through the number 0781-889-054. You can reach to us through our social media platform at RGC Heroes of Faith, at Lavington United Church, at Urafiki Resource Center. And allow me to conclude with announcements. So here, Urafiki Resource Center is a project under Lavington United Church, which works in assisting the children under the patronage of compassion in eradicating poverty, releasing children from poverty in Jesus' name. And that is why we are dwelling on parenting, because it is one of the major things the society is failing to address. And as much as the society is failing to address, it is there being faced. And we are thinking of how we should better the society by tackling the things, the common things, the common and commonalities that the society is failing to face. So with that, also Lavington United Church is building a church. It also has a school here, Lavington United Church Academy. What do we call it? Enrollment is in progress. The same with Redeemed Gospel Church Waithaka. They are still constructing. You can support them through their pay bill, phone number. You can go to their page, like, and also comment whether you want to support. You'll be able to, you'll get assisted on how to. They also have a school, Heroes of Faith Education Center. Enrollment is in progress from playgroup through grade 6. So thank you very much for making time for us, and God bless you from wherever you're watching from wherever you're watching us from. So see you next time. Kwaheri. Bye.